The bass thumped so hard it made the walls vibrate, while bursts of colored light spun wildly over the dance floor. Laughter tangled with shouts and pounding music, until it all blurred into one deafening roar. The air was heavy with sweat, perfume, and spilled alcohol. Somewhere behind me, glasses clinked, but I stood motionless at the edge of the bar, holding my drink, staring out at the chaos. The crowd moved like restless waves under flashing lights, people laughing recklessly, some dancing with wild abandon, others murmuring in shadowy corners. My gaze drifted across the room, unfocused, until it locked on her. Emma, my wife. At first, relief washed over me just to see her, as though everything, the noise, the strangers, the haze, would quiet once my eyes found hers. But she didn't smile. She didn't beckon me to join her. She was wrapped in another man's arms. A taller man, his hands firm at her waist. She leaned into him, resting her head against his shoulder like it belonged there, her lips curved in a soft smile, a smile I hadn't seen in weeks. The sight slammed into me like a punch to the chest. My heart clenched so hard it hurt. I felt my glass tremble in my hand, squeezing it until I thought it might crack. My whole body locked up, anger rising like fire in my veins. But beneath the fury lurked something sharper, something that cut even deeper. Hurt. We had walked into this party together. Her hand hooked through my arm as we entered the crowded hall. Now, less than an hour later, she had chosen someone else, in full view, as if I didn't exist. My thoughts spun so fast I could barely breathe. Was this just a careless mistake? A drunken, meaningless dance? Or had this been there all along? An affair I had been blind to? Each possibility burned like acid. I couldn't stand there another second. If I did, my anger would boil over, and the last thing I wanted was to give her, or anyone in that room, the satisfaction of watching me break. I set my drink down carefully, the faint clink swallowed by the music, then turned and headed for the exit. Each step felt heavy, like I was dragging the weight of my marriage behind me. The party's noise trailed me until I pushed the door open, and all at once it fell away. Outside, the night was a jarring contrast. Quiet, cold, the air biting at my face. The street was nearly deserted, streetlights casting long shadows across the pavement. My breath came out in small clouds as I walked slowly to my car, trying to steady the storm inside. With every step, memories crowded in, nights spent holding hands under the covers, whispered promises when no one else was listening, vivid dreams of a future we once painted together. I thought of her laugh, the way she leaned on me for everything. Where had it gone? Had I missed the signs? Had I grown too sure that love alone would hold us up? Maybe I'd stopped paying attention. Maybe she'd been slipping away, and I hadn't noticed until tonight. I reached the car and leaned against the hood, staring at the ground. My phone buzzed in my pocket, her name on the screen. I didn't answer. I didn't want explanations. I didn't need excuses. I'd seen enough with my own eyes. I pulled my keys out, sliding one between my fingers, ready to leave, when footsteps broke the silence. Quick, urgent. Wait. Her voice. I looked up. Emma was running toward me, heels clattering against the pavement, hair slightly undone, strands falling over her flushed face. She was out of breath, panic etched into her features. She reached me and grabbed my arm, her fingers trembling. "Please don't go," she whispered, her voice cracking. "It's not what you think." I clenched my jaw, my expression hard. The image of her in his arms burned too deep for words to erase. I stayed silent. She stumbled through her explanation, desperation threading every word. "He's just an old friend, that's all." I wasn't thinking. I only wanted to dance. I didn't realize how it looked. Her hands clung to mine like her life depended on it, her eyes glistening under the streetlight. "I looked for you the second I noticed you were gone. I didn't want you to think." Her voice cracked, tears spilling over. "Please don't let this ruin us." I turned fully to her, my chest heaving with sharp breaths. My voice came low but edged with steel. "You humiliated me, Emma. Do you know what it felt like, standing there while everyone watched my wife in another man's arms?" Her tears streamed freely now. She shook her head violently. "I'm sorry. I was careless. but it was nothing more than a dance. I swear it. You're the only one I love. Please believe me. Please don't walk away. Her words pierced through the walls I'd built in the last hour. I searched her face for deception, for any hint of a lie. But what I saw wasn't arrogance or indifference. It was fear. Fear of losing me. The anger didn't vanish, but it shifted, turning into something heavier. Disappointment. Sadness. And beneath it all, love still clung stubbornly, no matter how much I wanted it gone. I didn't answer. I didn't forgive her. But I didn't pull my hand away either. For now, that was enough for her. We didn't go back inside. Instead, we drove home in silence. Her hand rested on mine the entire ride, her grip tight, as though letting go would make me disappear. Neither of us spoke, the air between us thick with unspoken pain. When we reached the house, I stayed in the car for a long moment before finally stepping inside with her. I didn't know what tomorrow would bring. I didn't know if trust could be rebuilt or if the cracks were too deep. But one truth settled over me that night. Betrayal doesn't always end a marriage in a single blow. Sometimes it forces you to face everything you've been avoiding, to confront the fractures already there. Whether we survived this or fell apart was something only time could decide. But one thing I knew with certainty. She would carry the memory of this night forever, the night she almost lost me,